oldest, to be honest.
Thanks, Trap.
Just engineer Matthew and Benjamin is not even.
I mean, why do you need my tag line? I mean, what's it do for me? You tell me my ERS that I already know.
I'm gonna blow your post.
Do I go softer or not?
Thanks, Recon, you too. I'm going softer.
No, I agree, there's no need to. Unless it's a full wet quality. I mean, dry, wet race, still have to qualify.
Good luck all.
Oh, that'll be crashed now.
Sorry, good luck Wilson.
Cheers, Shapalele. Hey guys, it's me, Wilson, and we're back with another video, and it's the usual F1 2020, and we're here for Singapore, and maybe you can hear in the background actually, you don't even need to see it, that it's raining in qualifying and at the end of the race. It is quite a long video. I don't know if my voice is going to be able to keep up with this, so if you do get quite annoyed by my, how could I say it, I don't know, just me constantly having to clear my throat or something, because at the end of this I think it'll be dead. So sorry if that gets to you. But yeah, nevertheless, we're here, round 2. I'm not going to lie, this has been quite a late upload. I didn't really want to do focus on this video until everything else in the championship was sorted. So yeah, we're just gonna have to get on with it. I know what happens at Austria now, because I'm doing this video after Austria, because yeah, as I said, I wanted to get Austria out the way, then do this video. I just wanted to put full focus into it, because this, yeah, it just all went wrong, and you'll see why. But yeah, coming into this race, I can remember faintly, it was about 2 weeks ago, remember. So yeah, it was, I'm pretty sure the pace was quite good. My PB was a 31.7, which isn't anything crazy, but it's definitely, by all means, it's not bad. And yeah, so it's nothing crazy and it's not bad. But here we are on our first wet lap. I was hoping it wouldn't stay wet the whole session. I did get told by Jeff it wasn't going to be wet the whole session, which was good, because for some reason, and whatever reason, I used to be really good in the wet, and I've just kind of got slower. So yeah, I'm hoping it stays or it goes to dry. And I don't know if I touched bases on this, but yeah, last week, or I keep getting myself mixed up. Last time in Bahrain before this race, we actually qualified 4th, I believe it was, and finished 10th. So Altstrat seemed to be OP there, as usual. And I was kind of hoping for a bit of normality here, but once I saw this going on in the weather, normality was the least to be expected here. So nevertheless, we're on our run halfway through it, and you can just see the cars dancing about in the rear end. And you can maybe hear me saying nearly crashed. A bit over exaggerated, but I was pretty much sideways. We've got our teammate Gamer behind us. He's doing really well so far. I think at this point he was 2nd in the championship. He got a 2nd last time out. So, and I think McLaren's 3rd in the constructors at this point. So it's looking pretty well, to be honest. And it's not going bad. It could be way worse. Not for me, but well, it could. But I'll shut up. So yeah, coming to the end of this intermediate run, it's not been the best. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. You could stay in the pits if you wanted to, but it's more of a test run for later on in the race when it starts to rain in the race and not in quali. So you come around the final corner, what's it going to be? And it's a 50.6. Our teammate does a 50.4 just ahead of us. And yeah, so these times don't really matter because it's going to dry up. And as you can see, coming to the end of this run, we're about 2.5 tenths up, and yeah, we just back out because there's really no point in continuing, because yeah, what are you going to gain out of it? It's going to dry up. So here we're sitting in the pits. You can see Saucer 7 seconds quicker at this rate, but the track's still damp. Looking back on this, we probably should have stayed in the pits and not have went out. We're sitting 3rd right now, and we make the decision to go out. So I mean, it's not really that important, but I think we should have stayed in here just to give us a bit more of a better track. But I guess the thinking behind this was I can do a lap, and if I invalidate, come back in, which I guess is smart in some sense. But yeah, come to the end of that run, you might hear me say there, it felt quick, but it's not going to be quick. We nearly actually invalidated the last corner, and it's a 33.6, which isn't anything crazy. It's not close to where you want to be. If that was a full dry quality, you'd be last. But starting our final run, we're going to stay on board for the whole lap, as it is our fastest run of the session. The track's very quick now. Keep in mind, we've not experienced these conditions all quality so far. So coming into turn 1, brake just after that bridge, down here into second gear. Very fast and slow section. A lot of brake technique required. Turn to turn 4, I believe. You want to mount a lot of this curb into fourth and get close to the wall on the exit, open DRS, and fly down to turn, I'm going to take a guess and say 7 maybe. And yeah, 7, that's a good guess. After the wall, you want to slam on the brakes. Use the entry curb, inside curb, and exit curb. Here, just before the black box, slam on the brakes, down to second gear. Use the third gear to minimise that wheel spin. And through here, this is a very tricky corner. Get so close to the wall. It looks like you're going to hit it momentarily. But we're 8/10 up, coming into the old Singapore sling that has been revamped since. Through here, take a lot of inside curb there, mounting it. Use all the downforce you can. Take all the curbs here. And into this hairpin, probably the slowest part of the track. We go a bit deep, so we probably lost maybe a tenth at absolute most. But nevertheless, we've not invalidated yet, which is important. Into here, starting sector 3, brake after the 100, up to third gear, and so far it's looking like quite a good sector split. It's a 1.1, which isn't a bad lap, to be honest. It's looking decent. Coming around into under the bridge, gets close to the wall, a lot of curb again. Through here, tap that curb, which we do not do, and then this last sector you really want to take a lot of curbs, as you can see. And then into this last corner, it's a make or break corner. You fling it in, hope the rear end does not dance about, and we're going to come up to line. It's P2 on a 1:32.2, just 2/10 off fast race. So we're putting a very good lap for the conditions in this session. And yeah, P2, so good starting place. It's a bit like Bahrain again. We've not done anything majorly wrong quality. It wasn't a great lap by any means, and Vaster's lap was definitely beatable, but yeah, I'm not really going to cry over being second. And yeah, considering how Bahrain went, I was looking for just a top 5, to be honest, just to get the season back on the road. But as you can see in the weather, the rain's actually meant to come 3 blocks in, but if you played the F1 game, I think you all know that it's a bit unpredictable. It can say it's going to come 20 minutes in, and it'll come literally when the lights go out. So I predicted that. I used my experience, as some would say. I predicted that, and I was like, I'll just go softs. I mean, I had no other tyres anyway, but I think if I had other tyres, I still would have went softs anyway. So yeah, just starting the formation lap now. I think for this race, I usually use the overtake button for starts, but I realised they were quite that much power in the starts here just wasn't good enough. It was good enough. It's not like I have not enough power, but it was too much power in the rears after a quali lap around Singapore, and the formation lap are just absolutely done. So this race I actually didn't use overtake, and so I was kind of hoping it'd give us a bit of a launch, and we've got a pad driver behind us, so we need every bit of traction and every bit of speed we can get. And as you can see there, I don't know if you can notice on your screen, as the quality isn't fantastic. However, it's actually raining, quite light. It's going to reset though, because at the end of the formation lap, the weather resets and goes back to normal. But that's a good sign for us, as we are in the softs and we don't want to go too long. But as you can see, the 5 red lights are coming up. You've got 4 lights, 5 red lights. And away we go. Do we get a good start trying our new technique in the starts? We actually do. Fast Racer gets a really bad one. We get an amazing one into turn 1, and we've took the lead. We nearly get a warning there, and the rear end snapping a bit on the exit, but it does not matter. We are in the lead. The most crucial track to be in the lead alongside Monaco. This was a really crucial part in the race. Getting this lead and being able to control the race is really important, and it's especially important to me. I'm not a fan of sitting behind people. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the hardest thing in the world to do by any means. You sit there and tap your DRS and you're flying. But I usually prefer to be ahead at most tracks, and like tracks like maybe Italy or Austria, or yeah, the easy ones to sit in. But yeah, I'd rather be in the lead here, definitely, 100%. So I don't think it's going to matter too much considering the weather conditions. Maybe you'd rather be behind someone so you know when they're going to pit, but it doesn't really help, to be honest. So yeah, and I'm sure Vasta Racer was quite gutted he lost the lead. So as you can see on the screen, we actually asked our engineer about rain, and rain came up. So this is our signal. It's lap 2 now. We'll see how heavy it gets, but usually it gets quite heavy within a lap or two. It's pretty going for it, and it's time to pit at that point. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Usually when Jeff asks you, that's usually the time to pit. So hopefully Jeff has his head screwed on. He usually doesn't, but usually he does at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah, he usually knows what he's doing when it comes to pitting. So, and speaking of that, if you can see in the bottom right, he's actually asked us to pit. So this moment we're only 3 laps in, and he's asking us to change tinters. So I confirm. But looking back on this, I didn't actually realise on the pit strategy, if you want to go back if you can be bothered, he actually said lap 7, which yeah, now noticing that, it's quite frustrating. Usually I thought he'd just be like, right, take this strategy and pit. But what Jeff was saying is it's going to get heavier, so he was estimating lap 7 would be the lap time to pit. But I thought it'd be this lap. So you're about to see, come around the final 2 corners, we actually dart into the pits, and yeah, surprise, surprise, it was the wrong decision by quite a way. A lot of people follow us thinking it is, but a lot of people don't. I think only 4 people came in with us. It looks like, yeah, 4 people, and I thought I was going to get hell because, as I've emphasised, Co-Masters pit stops. Better not say it, but they're absolutely awful. I mean, they just couldn't get worse, to be honest. They're the worst pit stop physics I've seen in my life. So if any of them are watching this, I hope they fix it, because I can't express how much complaints they've got and not fixed it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I complained about that in Bahrain as well. So we'll just keep that consistent. We'll keep that consistent thing in these videos, just in case it happens to one of them are watching my videos out of their long hard day. So yeah, we come out in 11th. We're the lead runner in theory, but look at that gap to Kasser. It's 19.8 seconds. Let's see if it stays that way, comes to us or goes to him. Going through this corner, it's actually, yeah, look at that, 3 tenths, 6 tenths. Oh, yeah, it's just flying up. I mean, that is ridiculous. Looking back in this, like, I forgot how much time. That's 2 seconds now, I think. I mean, it's just, I can say to myself, yeah, the race was unlucky at the same time. And in theory, I think there is a bit of luck involved with some people not pitting, in the sense of like, oh, I don't want to get held by my teammate and stuff. But at the same time, like, yeah, the strategy just for me was so poor. I felt like Ferrari at this point. I was doing a Danny Moreno, if anybody remembers him in AOR, and I just absolutely flipped it. He's pulled like 3 seconds out, or something like that. I've not really been keeping the track of it now, but it's ridiculous. And they pit at the end of this lap, thinking it's time to pit. I don't think it was time to pit. I think they probably should have stayed out. And at this time, I didn't realise I've just lost about 3 seconds. I didn't think it was that bad. I was more focused on the driving, but I did know while I was driving it didn't feel the best. The tyres did feel a bit sluggish. You can just notice visibly that they're just not up to form. So whoever pit, I think her teammate Gamer Pit, Midnight Pit, and IGK Simo, if that's how you pronounce it, pit. We might be able to get him out of the pits here. He's take quite a tight line. We got a bit deep. Are we going to be able to get him in the exit? It doesn't look like it. I don't know if DRS is still enabled yet. It is, so that's another indication that we shouldn't have pit really. We're just being a bit stupid. We might be able to have him here. Turn on ERS, DRS enabled, rich mix, absolute max engine modes here. We're closing in quite a lot. Are we going to dart to the inside? We brake slightly later, but yeah, it doesn't look like anything's going to be made out of it. Into this corner here, we're going to try the switchback. He goes very deep, but it's just way too tight of a track to make a move, and that's quite disappointing. Currently looking at the top left of my screen right now, sitting in P9, I was so disappointed. I mean, I think this is when I really realised that a win was just thrown away, and it's not like it was a hard win, it was a pretty simple one. I mean, the only people we had to fight were really Vaster. I'm not at all saying he's a bad driver, brother. He's an amazing driver, but he's the only one we'd have to fight. It's not like I couldn't see Mitchie being that quick since he was in pad. So yeah, again, very disappointing to look back on, but you only learn from these things. I think you learn more from these bad races. I'm definitely going to keep this in mind. These type of races for next time it rains, for example. I can't see a race like happening like this again, but if it does, we're definitely ready. As DSR actually gets DSR. I really need to stop. I mean, I'm sorry. Right, DRS. There we go. DRS is disabled, and that is the time to pit. And as Simon really bins it. And if you can look in your bottom left, it was absolutely Casper. I don't know where he was, but I don't even think he was in the top 10. We actually get a warning trying to overtake him, and he's nearly overcut us by about. Oh, it's just. I can't believe how much we messed this up. So enough of that. We go into lap 10. It's considerably wetter coming into turn 1, and for some reason it just turns into a monsoon. So we just go into I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but going into turn 1 it didn't look that bad, and exiting turn 1 it looked horrible. And intermediates and full wets is just ridiculous. I mean, it's so slow. I mean, we must be like 5 seconds down. We're about to see actually coming into a sector split, 4.8 seconds down. I mean, that everything's going off the track. We're definitely going to lose about 10 seconds in this lap. And you can just see it looks like we're doing a slow out lap. It looks like we're driving F2 cars at this rate. I think F2 cars would be quicker than us. So yeah, quite embarrassing. And I didn't realise at the time, I think some people pit. There's so much opportunities in this race where it could have went well. We were given about 3 chances to redeem ourselves during this race, and we took none of them pretty much. We messed up the strategy in every single one of them. And yeah, it's my fault, but I feel like at the same time it's quite difficult to guess. Like, when you're driving, you're not completely focused on your strategy. I mean, you're trying to keep these cars on the road, never mind think about your strategy. So it is quite annoying at the same time, but yeah, I can't blame anybody. I mean, you can't blame your engineers. Like, I had an engineer, Jordan, if you know who he is. His name is Bolts on tour. But he can't tell me when to pit. He doesn't know what it looks like in track. It's all down to you, and it is quite difficult to tell when you're meant to pit. I think you need a pretty insane engineer if he knows what he's doing at this point. So yeah, lap 10. You can see we must have lost. I mean, I would love to see the delta right now. I don't know if it's, well, yeah, top right. It's 2 minutes. Yeah, it would have been about a 2-minute 7 lap or something, 2-minute 8 lap, which is just horrible. That must be about 15 seconds off the pace, maybe 10, 15. So we come into the pits. We're probably going to get held. I'm sure you know what I'm going to say about the Codemasters pits, but I'll refrain this time. And yeah, I think we get jumped. How much cars was that? About 4. So that was great. That was just another positive to add to the race. And yeah, not much to add to that. Begs to pits. Where's our teammate?
We're both last, mate.
What is this game?
Oh, I hate it. I'm so far behind. Like, I'm last by miles.
And as you can hear, as we go side by side with Suso, actually, we're trying to make the move. And we're probably going to get overtaken by Suso as well, as he's got the inside. And yeah, we do. So as you can hear, Gamer's actually last with us as well. So it's a McLaren 1718. So it's not looking the best. Definitely not a true representation of our pace and skill. I can't lie. But yeah, this is just one of the reasons I didn't want to commentate over this is because watching this back is so painful. It's just horrible. Used to stay out, and then there's our old championship rival from season 27. He's took a gamble, fair enough. I mean, anything could have worked in this race at this rate. And yeah, you can just see how visibly slow he is. He's been overtook by 3 cars in 2 corners, and it's just not going well. I think at this point Matthew and Midnight also stayed out on intermediates, so you'll probably see in the highlights we're going to catch them at one point very soon, at least. And yeah, as you can see, look at this train. It's beautiful, isn't it? I was hoping somebody would crash, but yeah, it's just, what is this? 3 wide pretty much through that corner. It's just such a mess. I think the last time I experienced a race this crazy was, I mean, season 25 Italy in PSGL was pretty crazy. That's from what I can remember, at least. There's probably another one, but I can't remember it. But it's just, look at it. I mean, I think that's midnight and blizzard fighting on intermediate tyres, which, keep in mind, they're at least 10 seconds slower maybe. And yeah, they're just, midnight is getting absolutely swarmed in the streets, wiggling all over the place. We go to the outside. We also see this as an opportunity to make a move on Suso, but yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? So we're in 15th, we're kind of fighting for a wooden spoon at this point, nothing really special, but it is going to dry up from what I remember. We're only 13 laps in, but it is going to dry up from what I remember. So it could get better. Our teammate, or I say teammate, I'm not in Sergio anymore, sorry, our friend Blizzard lets us by. It gets quite sketchy. I'm trying not to put him in the wall as he is in the intermediates, and yeah, so we're only 13 laps in, and it must have been about, we must have done at least like, I don't know, half an hour of the race by now. And the lap time we just set was a 2:06, and I remember Gamer telling us that lap we lost something around about 8 seconds to the guys in front, which is just, I mean, yeah, that's bad luck right there, I tell you. I mean, what else am I meant to do at that point? So yeah, the race has fallen apart in front of us. It's lap 18 now. We got stuck behind Suso for quite a long time. We couldn't get past them. And I think this is the lap, if I'm not wrong. I don't want to do any spoilers. Yeah, it is. This is the lap Gamer pits, actually. It makes a gamble. So smart from him. He actually looks at the weather and thinks, yeah, it's intermediates now. And again, looking back on it, which I've said about a million times, I should have pit. Because, just, yeah, look at it, man. It's not wet conditions at all. I think my head wasn't really screwed on for this race. And yeah, so we pit the lap after what Gamer done, because I'm pretty sure I got a call from Jeff telling me to pit. And I won't be surprised if I get held here. I mean, well, actually, what am I on about? What am I going to get held by? Myself. So yeah, we don't get held here. So surprisingly enough, we're coming to the orange pit crew, onto the intermediates. And will we be able to make anything work from this? Probably not. We're probably going to come out in last again. Where's our teammate? You can see our teammate in the bottom left. He's coming along the start finish line. Let's see how much he jumps us by, or if he jumps us at all, actually. And yeah, he's jumped both of us actually. So the undercut he's going to get is pretty big. I don't think everyone's pit. I can't remember how he got such a big. I don't know if people come out in between us, or he only jumps us two. I can't remember, because this race isn't very fresh in my head. But Eustace 54 seconds behind. His races went all wrong. And yeah, so again, it's just quite a depressing race to watch back. We're in 13th by lap 21. I think, yeah, this is when everyone pits. And look at my teammate Gamer. He's gained, that's about 5-6 positions for that strategy call. So, I mean, well done, Tim. We come out side by side with Ash Best. It's pretty crucial we make this move, as we need to get past Ash, because our pace will definitely be quicker if we make it work. So we're actually into the points. We're actually in a net 9th at this point, so it's points, right? We're keeping our run for points. We got 10th last race. It's looking like we might get 9th, and look at that, it could be 8th considering recon. But yeah, I was still quite disappointed. As I've done it again. Right, Wilson. It's DRS, not DSR. As in the bottom left, a lot of people pit for softs. And yeah, not much more to add. We're doing our in lap now, and we come into the pits to put on. So I'm pretty sure we put on softs. I think in the party as our teammate. I keep saying teammate. My head's not strapped on. Matthew crashed, and we got a safety car. So our teammate there, our actual teammate this time, pits onto mediums. We put onto softs and get held by about 10 seconds again. So if you've not experienced my pain already, and if you're not experiencing it already, I mean, if you're not experiencing it now, I don't know what will make you. We've been jumped again, so I just couldn't get any worse, to be honest. It's literally been the most unlucky and worst strategy called race I've done in my life. We definitely had the pace to win this, and now we're in 13th by lap 25. If you told me that, I wouldn't have turned up, to be honest. But there's every chance to get a move or get some points here, so we're just gonna have to hope for the best. Ash Best is on the medium tyres, so that will be our chance. Keep in mind, this is the first time in the race we've really driven a light car on soft tyres since about lap 3 wasn't even light, it was just worn softs and heavy fuel. So I was expecting people to get penalties. The turning and the grip you experience after being in wets is it just feels crazy. It's the best feeling ever, but also the worst, because you end up turning in too early, getting penalties, and you don't expect that much grip to be at hand. So Ashbess is currently getting absolutely done, as he is in the mediums. We're going to try and make a move on him. Will we be able to get anyone done? It doesn't look like it. I don't want to use all my ERS here because it is important we save some, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows Ashbess is quite a hard fighter. He doesn't really let anybody pass. To be honest, I've never been let past by him. I can't remember, to be honest, being let past by him. So when I was just going to wait for the DRS. I mean, I'm not fighting for much at this point. Jordan actually left the session. I think he crashed or something. Something happened to him, and we get the move done in Ash. So second last lap, and yeah, we're up into 11th. It looks like we're going to finish 9th. Yeah, come around the final corner, and it is, yeah, P9. So
What a shite race.
yeah, I mean, what a horrible race. If I say this again, if you're not experiencing my pain watching this, I don't know how, because watching this back, it's horrible. Like, the amount of things that I could have done better or just were out of my control in general. There's so many of them, and it's just one of those races that they kind of come back to you and bite you to tell you to wake up a bit and tell you that everything's not going very well. I wouldn't say it was a wake up call for me, but it kind of told me that everything isn't pace at this level. A lot of people like the strategy, and when you have races like these where they're just absolutely crazy and people can start 11th or 18th and still win almost. I mean, look at that. Duncan started 18th and got second. I mean, some of that would have been strategy, some of that would have been luck. I mean, you don't need to be quick at some of these events. So yeah, it's quite a shame. But nevertheless, if you're still here, it's been quite a long video, so sorry, it's been quite boring in that sense. But if you're still here, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you tune into the next one. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, which will be Austria. And bye.